Hi, welcome to another Barbie Dolls of the Week. This week we got a nice sunshiny day, even though it's been raining, so lighting should be good this week. I know we had a little bit of an issue last week. It looked good to me on the camera, but when I played it back it was rather dark. So I lightened it up with YouTube editing tools. So anyway, it worked out. So today I've got several dolls to show you, and I'm going to start with this 2-pack that I recently got at Toys R Us on clearance. Now this is from the 2016 election, so we'd all, like to move on from that. But this is the first all-female ticket, and Barbie and Mattel have been doing presidential candidates for many years. I don't know if I've done a video on that or not. If not, I may do one because I've got some very nice ones from the past. But this was the most recent one, and here's what it looks like, or at least one version. So you've got Barbie, or I guess that's supposed to be Barbie. It just says, actually, it doesn't really say except Barbie on the package, obviously. But so therefore I'm assuming this is supposed to be Barbie, even though it's got the dark hair. And then this is her vice president. So, and I'm not even positive which one's the president and the vice president, but because they listed president, vice president, that's the way I'm looking at it. And so, yeah, the president is this one, vice president this one in my mind. But I really like this set because, first of all, it is the all-female version. I think once before they did a presidential set that had a vice president, maybe on the last election. But, yeah, this is a really nice one. And what I like is they have different versions. So, they have maybe a black vice president in the same outfit. They have the blonde president. Just, I don't know. There seems to be 3 or 4 different variations that I've seen. And even at Toys R Us there were several. And this is the one that I picked because I really didn't want a blonde Barbie in it. I would have liked an African American one in one of the two, but there wasn't one without a blonde, so I ended up getting this one. And anyway, I do like it. Here's the picture on the back. And let me see what it says. Did you know the vice president and president are elected leaders? And it just talks about that. About She Should Run. She Should Run is a movement making that happen by empowering more women and girls to go and consider run for office. So I really like this, and I think especially for young girls, it's really a good message to send and hopefully inspire some to do just that. Now, this, by the way, was originally, I don't know, I think it was $25. I don't know, I don't have my receipt handy. But it was on sale, and then they had an extra 15% the day I was there a few weeks ago for clearance items. So I got this for $11.50, believe it or not. Really nice. And I certainly will not take these out of the box. I do keep them in the box for these type of dolls. And especially because the bodies are not so good these days. They look better in the box. Anyway, that's that one. And then I wanted to show you, and I just noticed he is rather dirty, so I'm going to wipe him off. This was part of my the doll group that I got last week at the flea market, and I showed you guys on the last video some of those dolls. Here's one other one that was in that group. I also had a Tropical Splash Ken, but I already put him away for now to go with some of the other Tropical Splash dolls I had. But I did want to show you the Hollywood Hair Barbie Ken doll and his wonderful MC Hammer type pants. That's just what it reminds me of. But it says here, make magic stars appear in his hair. What's funny is he's already got some appearing. I mean, you guys might not be able to see that in the box, but there it is. See that one on the corner? I mean, it's already appearing, so I thought that was odd. I don't know if something happened over time. He got moist, and maybe that would explain some of this gunk on the package. It's a little gross. I'm going to wipe that off. I wiped it off with a tissue, but that didn't really... So I'm just going to take like a moist cloth and wipe that off and then dry it. And here's the back of the box. Now, I have shown these two dolls before, the Barbie and the Teresa, I think that is. And They are loose and out of the box. I don't think I have those two in. I know I don't have Barbie in the box. I may have the Teresa. Don't have Skipper, not really into her, so I don't usually get those. And when I do in a lot, I usually sell them. I just sold 2 this past week, by the way. So yeah, this is the Ken. I got in because, I wanted to have another member of that set, and it was only basically $5, so I thought it was a really good deal. I would probably keep him at this point and keep him in the box. By the way, it's this thing is like supposed to be a magic wand. It says for Ken, it says icy cold water and his magic wand makes stars appear. Warm water makes stars disappear. So I just thought that was interesting. And I don't think I have him out of the box at all. I mean, I have some that look similar to this, but I don't believe I have him outside the box. So, what do you guys think of this doll? I mean, this is, some people might be a little bit disappointed that in a series where the Barbies and other female dolls have such long hair, he has fake molded hair, or painted on molded hair, I should say. But, I don't know why they couldn't have done a sort of a long-haired Ken. I think that would have been nice, but tends to be when they do long-haired Ken, they don't always look great. There are some exceptions that I have to that, but anyway, that's him. Now I want to move on. Oh, by the way, before I forget, my shirts that I've got on, I wanted to mention, in the honor of RuPaul's Drag Race starting back this past Friday evening, I wore one of my vintage La Cage aux Folles t-shirts that I had from when we went to Vegas one year in the 90s, early 90s I think it was, or mid, and we saw this show there, so wanted to wear that. Now, I've got a box of dolls from eBay recently that is fixer-upper, body mostly for parts, and one I got, or one that was in it, is certainly not a Barbie, but I wanted to show you guys this in case somebody can help identify this little doll. So here she is. And she's got like a duck hat, as you see, and a little raincoat, basically, and the thing is sticking up in the back, so I'll worry about that later. But let me give you a better look at her face. I have no idea who this doll is, and if she's desirable to somebody at all, but I would definitely put her for sale in some lot, or maybe by herself. So let me know if you know who this is, please. Thank you. Okay, now, the last dolls are this set, and yesterday on some of the Facebook groups that I'm in for Barbie, I posted some before pictures, and what I've done since then is just wash these dolls and also do some brushing of their hair, get the knots out, or the clumps, they're all messy looking, especially a couple of them. But then I asked about, who these dolls were. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes when they are no clothing and total messes. And so, we've got some very knowledgeable people in this community of Facebook Barbie lovers or collectors. So I've got several people that helped and quickly identified these. So first of all, let's look at this doll. This turns out, and I thought this was Pink and Pretty Barbie, but it is. And several people have confirmed that. Obviously, she's had a haircut, and her hair was sticking straight up like this before. Now, I'm still going to work with this and see if I can get it better. I may have to trim a little bit more off this side to try to at least even it out. But I think the person had it up in something like that, and so it was just kind of stuck there. So it looked bizarre. But yeah, other than that, she's in pretty good shape. Waist is good, and legs are pretty good. She has no jewelry. I mean, like I said, I mostly bought these as bodies, but now that I know who some of them are, and some I did know, well, I don't know for sure what I'm going to do. Look who it is. I seem to come across these quite a bit. So I think my beloved Magic Curl Barbie, which this one is not in her prime, obviously, she it must have been pretty common, and I like to think very popular as far as collecting back then or just having as toys, because I find her quite often. So I'm going to see if I can get her hair back to, you can brush this hair out. I've done it with a couple of these already, and you can get it to look pretty good, but this is all, just a mess right now. So anyway, we'll see what I can do with her. This one, I am told, and I'm not positive, but this is what I'm told, is California Dream Barbie from, I believe, 87. And, I'm going to compare her to the one that I have, which is somewhere around. I'm going to have to find it. But I would have never guessed this was her. She had that poofy thing in the front, and look how long this is. I mean, it's so long, I'm just surprised. But she's in pretty good shape as well, whoever she is. And I do believe people who say that, because these people know their stuff. It's just I like to confirm it if I have the doll, by comparing it to my own. So that's what I'll do. But hair's pretty good. Her hair was pretty straight, so yeah, I think it very well could be her. Now, this one has a couple issues. One is the waist. Look at her waist. Goes all the way around pretty much. It stops at one point. Of course, that should not be, so, obviously something is wrong there. Now, do any of you recognize this doll? If you said Day to Night Barbie, you are correct. That is what I am told by 3 people, I believe, who she is. And again, I'll look at mine, but I certainly believe those knowledgeable people. Again, no jewelry on this, and obviously none of these came with clothes. They're all nude. As you see, they are not to be at a runway show just yet. So, this is Day to Night, as I said. Her hair's pretty good. But she does have, not the thickest in the middle here. So, I've been doing some brushing. And somebody told me recently about something called thatching with hair. And I'm doing a little looking on that. But it seems like it's just putting the pieces together, so to speak. But yeah, this is Day to Night Barbie. And the last one is this hair. I tell you, sometimes I have to wonder what's in the people's minds when they put so much hair on a doll. But let me just show you her from the back first. Now, keep in mind, this is after, now I haven't done the water boil method, and I might, but this is after it was cleaned up, washed, and brushed. That's all. This is Style Magic Barbie from, I believe, 88, if I remember correctly. I just looked her up. And she's got a lot of hair. She's also got these tiny little pink plastic earrings and two-tone hair, you see, as you saw earlier. That's really weird anyway, because it kind of looks like if you took that part off, okay, well then it makes more sense. But for some reason they wanted her to have two-tone. Back when it was 88, 89, Barbie and Mattel were doing huge hair, as we saw on that Kira the other day that I showed from the Benetton series. But man, this is another good example. But anyway, she's pretty good, except, did you notice her nose? Take a look from the side, see if you can tell. But she has her nose is basically a little cut off. It's really sad, I think. I feel sorry for her. If anybody has any ideas on sort of rebuilding that nose, let me know. But just because I hate to see a doll like that. I don't know how that happens, but if you look at her from a distance, you can't tell. Maybe. So anyway, those are the dolls for today. Oh, by the way, there was one other male doll similar to this one. This is not him. But the head was off, and it goes back on, but it doesn't want to stay on. So this doll I have had chewed hands. As you see, I showed him way back. And I'm thinking about trying to put his head, if I can get it off easily, on that body and give him a better body. So we'll see. But anyway, it was very similar to this. By the way, this doll, I'm not sure exactly. Does anybody know what face that is from? Or head, I mean. If so, let me know. I'm wondering if that's like a superstar Ken, not Superstar Era, but the superstar himself. So, okay, with that, I'm going to close for today, and I hope you've had a good weekend, and I hope you have a good week to come. Take care.